What's going on, everybody? I'm Patrick Chapla, founder of POWLAX and creator of POWLAX Master Coach. And in this video, we're going to be covering one of the most widely used man-up sets in the entire game called the 3-3. Now, the 3-3 is so widely used primarily for these three reasons, in my opinion. First, it puts all 6 of our offensive personnel above GLE in a dangerous position and able to score goals. And this will make us extremely dangerous. The second thing that it does is it is extremely easy to rotate within the set by, just switching players with 2 people to go into and out of the 3-3 set in order to cause some chaos on the defensive end and hopefully open up some skip lanes. Now, we're not going to be covering any of those rotations in this video because the 3-3 as its own set where you're really just swinging the ball will cause enough chaos on the defensive end that sometimes you don't even really need to use any rotations or set plays within your man-up to really create a lot of good scoring opportunities. Now, if you do want to check some of those out, make sure to check out some of the videos on POWLAXmastercoach.com like the man-up twist and probing a man-down defense. Those will really help you to learn how these rotations can cause even more chaos than just running the 3-3 as it is. The third and final thing that really sets the 3-3 apart is that it is just extremely simple. Really, all your players are doing is catching the ball, drawing a man, looking through the defense, and then moving it. And because all 6 players are so dangerous, we're going to be able to swing the ball, make the defense rotate, make the defense work, and it will open up a lot of different scoring opportunities. The one thing that I have to add in the beginning of this video that is kind of the only downside to the 3-3 is that because all of our players are above GLE, if we do get a shot off, you really have to make sure your players understand and know that we have to back up shots. In this video, we're going to touch on the most commonly made mistake that coaches make when they are implementing this with their teams, show you exactly how to run the 3-3 correctly, and what to emphasize with your players so that they can run it as effectively as possible. We're going to end the video by showing you guys the 3-3 against the 4 most common man-down defenses and exactly which looks are going to be most probable. Those man-down defenses are the box and 1, the box with a string, the 4-man rotation, and the 5-man rotation. The 3-3 in the 3-3 man-up offense stands for 3 players across the top of the offensive formation near the restraining line and 3 players across the field 5 yards above GLE. This is exactly where we find the mistake that is most often made when running the 3-3 man-up. By putting the players in each group even with each other, you get rid of the skip lane that can go from the right side to the left side, whether it be the players at the restraining line or the players that are just above GLE. What we are going to do is move the outside players down just a little bit and the center players up. This will allow players on the right and left sides to have more options depending on what the defense gives them. Now let's go into how to run the set. The 3-3 man-up starts with players moving the ball around the outside of the set. As the ball moves, defenders of the players will need to rotate into and out of position to make sure that they are accounting for all 6 players. As the ball is moving, the defense is rotating, and the offense will look for skip lanes to throw the ball through the defense. Skip passes cause confusion within most defenses because it takes them out of their predetermined rotations. There are a number of rules that the offense should abide by to run the set effectively. First, the perimeter players should use the push-pull model, where as the ball is coming towards them, they should pop out to receive the ball while looking through the defense. When the ball is going away from them, they should fill to the middle of the field, looking for skip lanes and trying to accept a feed and take a good shot. Second, the player on the crease should remain active and follow the ball, trying to draw attention and create skip lanes. And that is pretty much it. With quick ball movement and precise passes, we should be able to generate a lot of good looks by simply moving the ball quickly and forcing the defense to rotate. Now let's talk about exactly how we want our players to play and what we want to emphasize when coaching. The first thing we want to emphasize with our offensive players is that they need to make sure that they are moving the ball and never holding on to it too long. Our man-up advantage will make the defense rotate and move without needing to dodge past anyone, so dodging will most likely muddle up everything unless it is used within a predetermined rotation. Second, we want to make sure that the players are moving the ball quickly. As a player accepts a ball, he should step in and draw a defender, see the field, and if any options are open, then move the ball quickly to the next perimeter player. Players should not hold the ball for more than 1 to 2 seconds. They should hold the ball just long enough to see the field, assess their options and skip lanes, and then move the ball to the next player. Third, as players catch the ball, they should be catching it in a wind-up position, ready to feed or shoot the ball. Fourth, players should be moving within their areas and not be standing still. This will help create additional skip lanes. Fifth, players can use a plethora of different deceptive techniques like fakes, no-look passes, and wind-ups to try to get the defense to move out of position and find skip lanes or good shots. Now let's see exactly how this will work against our 4 man-down defensive sets. We will be using a few different rules when attacking each of these defensive sets. Our first defensive set, the box and one, has one main rule. If a single defensive player tries to play 2 players during a single pass, the player who catches the ball should immediately pass back to the player who threw it to him, isolating the defenseman between them. In our example, we will start by swinging the ball. Within this set, our advantage will come up top where M1, M2, and M3 are being covered by just D1 and the LSM. A1, A2, and A3 are all being covered pretty much exclusively by D2, DM1, and D3. So as the ball begins to move from M3 to M2 to M1, either D1 or the LSM will need to cover 2 players. In our example, we will have the LSM split M2 and M3 as the ball reverses back across the top. So as M1 passes to M2, M3 should be stepping into space preparing for a shot. Then, as M2 catches the ball and draws the LSM, he should move it right away to M3, who could have a pretty good shot opportunity. If the LSM can get back to M3, he should reverse it right back to M2, who should be stepping in for a shot. To see exactly how to combat this on the defensive end, make sure to check out the box and one video on POWLAXmastercoach.com. Now let's move on to the box and string. The string or box and string man-down defensive strategy is pretty much this. D1, the LSM, D2, and D3 will be playing the corner zones of the defense, while defensive midi 1 will account for M2 when M2 has the ball, and then A2 when the ball is anywhere else. So pretty much defensive midi 1 will need to move up to the top of the formation when the ball is there, and then cover the crease when the ball is anywhere else. Our offensive advantage will come in 2 places. First, when M2 catches the ball up top, because D2 and D3 will be left defending A1, A2, and A3 on the bottom of the formation. Our second advantage will be when A3 or A1 receive the ball low. In our first example, we will start by swinging the ball. As M2 receives the ball, he needs to move his feet and try to find skip lanes down to A1, A2, or A3. For instance, as M3 passes to M2, defensive midi 1 will need to come up and play him, freeing up A2 for a split second. Therefore, D3 and D2 will need to pinch to A2, opening up the skip lane to A3 if the LSM did not get back into the skip lane fast enough. In our second example, as the ball swings to A3, we will be looking for a skip up to M2. As A3 catches the ball, he should be looking for a skip lane through to M2 if the LSM is still preoccupied with M3 and not in the skip lane. This works the same on both sides. The defensive solve for this is to have D1 go outside of his zone to account for M2 when the ball is on the opposite side of the field, but often it is left open. Now let's move to the 4-man rotation. The strategy of the 4-man rotation on defense is to lock off A2 on the crease with defensive midi 1 and then rotate the other defenseman to cover the other 5 players on the outside. The defensemen who are adjacent to the ball need to be in a position where they can get out to their man if they receive a pass, but also in skip passing lanes with their stick up. As we run through and swing the ball quickly, you'll notice holes in this, especially when the ball hits M2 up top. If we pause the video here, you'll notice that D2 is caught in the middle of rotating from A1 to A3. And at this point, if D3 or D1 are out of position, these skip lanes will be deadly. My favorite look when these 2 sets are put against each other happens as the ball moves from A1 to M1 to M2. M1 will catch the ball and make sure to draw D1 out as far as possible, then pass to M2, who will look through to A3 to draw D2 across the defense, and then no-look pass back to A1. Now for our last defense, the 5-man rotation. The 5-man rotation strategy is to rotate all 5 players around the 6 offensive players. In our example, we will be rotating all outside players first and then rotating the crease out. So as the ball swings from A1 to A3, notice how defensive midi 1 will cover the crease until A3 is about to receive the ball. At this point, the defense would hope to have D2 in to cover A2 and release DM1 to cover A3. Every time the ball hits a low corner with A3 or A1, the defense should have 4 players covering the square that's by the ball and 1 player backside covering 2. Here, D1 is playing A1 and M1 backside. The best skip lanes will happen once again when M2 catches the ball up top. As the ball swings to M2, he will once again be looking for a 1, a 2, or a 3 down low as defensive midi 1 and D2 split them, and D1 and D3 try to fill skip lanes. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video of the 3-3 man-up offensive set. It is a tried and true man-up offense with a ton of great options. A couple things to keep in mind is, one, to make sure that your players understand that they have to back up shots. Second is really just to kind of allow them to play through it, draw and move the ball and allow them to really see what they see within their offense. The looks that I went over are ones that should schematically be there, but oftentimes players can find other looks within the defense depending on your personnel, depending on how the defense is actually playing you, not based on them actually running a true man-down defensive strategy, because a lot of times defenses won't actually run one or the other. They'll kind of switch. So it's important that your players understand not to look for these specific things all the time, rather to just read and react to the situation. And the third thing is just to make sure guys are catching the ball, moving it efficiently, and you'll be very successful with the 3-3 man-up offense. So once again, I hope that you liked the video. If you guys have any questions, comments, or suggestions about future videos, please email me at patrick@powlax.com. Make sure to share this video if you liked it, and check out all the other videos on powlaxmastercoach.com. Have a good one, and I'll see you in the next video.